Before you create another journal or planner for KDP, you need to hear this.
I'm all ears.
One of these is probably right for you, but if you miss one critical step, neither will sell. Blank lined journals don't sell. Generic daily planners don't sell. And it's not because journals and planners are bad products. It's because Amazon already has millions of them. If your book looks like something Amazon has seen 1,000 times before, the algorithm has no reason to pay attention to it. There's nothing new for it to test, nothing specific for it to match to a buyer, and nothing that signals this is different. That's where most people get stuck. They think the format is the problem. They think planners are oversaturated. They think journals are dead. But that's not what's happening. The real issue is that the book was never elevated. It didn't have a clear purpose, a clear audience, or a clear reason for someone to choose it over everything else on the page. Low content doesn't mean low thought or low quality. It means simple execution with intentional design. Once you understand that, choosing between a journal and a planner gets a lot easier, and your chances of actually selling go way up. This is actually where I got stuck when I first started. I thought simple meant basic, so I did what a lot of new KDP authors do. I bulk generated journals and planners. Blank pages, generic layouts. I believed quantity would win. More books meant more chances to sell, right? What I didn't understand yet was that low content doesn't mean low effort thinking. Simple still needs intention. The shift happened when I stopped making books for everyone and started making them for someone. For planners, that meant choosing a specific audience. Nurses, teachers, busy professionals. Suddenly the planner had a purpose, not just pages. For journals, the change was just as simple. I added prompts, sometimes reflection questions, sometimes a clear theme. The journal stopped being a blank space and started offering guidance. That one change is what made the difference. Same formats, same publishing process, completely different results. Let me show you. I'm going to start here on Amazon to show you what's selling. To prove to you that I'm not making something up here, we're going to look at what our best sellers are in both planners and journals, and you'll see how the shift has gone from quantity years ago to quality now. Here I'm coming to Amazon. You can see what I've searched here. You can see I'm getting a puppy in a couple of weeks, so ignore my search history. Okay, so let's go ahead and come here to, let's start with planners. So here when I type in planner, here are some options. I'm actually going to skip the 2026, the calendar ones, because those are just calendar layout planners. I want something that is going to be a little bit more specific, that niche group we're looking for. So it's telling you what people are searching for. Here are planners for women. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. So here, the first planners that I come to are ones that have a specific theme, and biblical themes like Bibles with scriptures and a Bible study guide type of planner is very, very popular. Let's keep going. Here's another one, the Bible in a year. Let's narrow down our focus and go planners for women. I'm going to go ahead and let Amazon fill in the rest for me because it's showing me what people are searching for. Okay, large. This is one that has really been, this topic has been increasing over the months with ADHD. So let's see what a planner for someone with ADHD looks like. I'm going to click on this one and let's look inside. So you can see here, this is so much more than just, this is what you're doing today. It has specific guided prompts for guided things to focus on for every single day. Right here is prioritizing, daily rituals, and then it has a my week calendar. Now this obviously can be repeated for the weeks of the year. Brain hacks, so it doesn't just include the weeks or a daily planner where you write down items. Here are things that are specific to someone with ADHD. Project tracker, another really great tool to see how once this person decided who to focus on, then it really elevated this particular planner. Gorgeous, great design. Let's keep looking. Let's see what else people are searching for. Planners for work. Let's look at that one. Okay, here I come to some really unique ones. For example, this one is a law of attraction planner for someone who is really interested in a life organizer combined with a habit tracker, foldable vision board, and a gift box. It is a manifestation journal combined with planner. Now, I know this one has a spiral and we can't do a spiral, but you can still make a planner that's like this. Let's look inside. So here they focused on how to master the art of stress. They give you a goal, a space for a goal each day, a week to-do list, top priorities and errands. So really this is a guide for someone to be able to design their own planner without it being just blank pages. Down here, there's a space for a mind map. See, there's a lot of extra space here. Here's a monthly harmony check. Again, you see how this really focuses on someone who loves manifestation journals and ideas, and they've combined it with a planner. It is very unique, and I could see this selling really well. You could definitely make this, not as a spiral. This one's being sold for $54, so you could make one that's not a spiral, sell it for possibly $14, $15, or $18, and you would make a planner that is a little bit more affordable for someone, but still fulfills that desire to get a manifestation planner. Now let's visit journals. Let's see what other people are searching for in journals. Again, we have journals for women. Let's click on that one. Here's our daily 5-minute journal. This idea or concept is so popular. It's a gratitude journal that has daily affirmation opportunities. Now, if you don't feel comfortable creating your own daily affirmation ideas, then that's what ChatGPT is for. Look inside of here and see what other people have said about it. You can go to the reviews. I love it when people post pictures or they post about their experience. This gives you, it's handing you the ideas that you need to incorporate into your own journal. Let's see what else people are searching for. Niching down even more. Journals for women, inspirational. Let's go to the with prompts. Now, I want you to notice something up here on the left-hand side. I'm getting over around 10,000 results. That's a good number. When this one is in like 30,000 or 50,000, that's so broad. That means that there are so many books in that particular niche. I need to niche down a little bit more. But when it says 1,000 results, that's almost too niche down. It's too specific. You can still do one in that particular topic, but your audience is a little bit smaller. So here's a 52-week mental health journal. I love this one, the shadow work journal. That's another really popular one. This trauma healing journal. You see where we're going here, where people have niched down even more within the journals for women with prompts. The Thank You Life Gratitude Journal. I'm going to click on this one. It looks like it's kind of new. It has 30 reviews, but it's gotten a really positive result. Again, come in here, see what people love about it, and then make your own. Here's your quick reality check. Journals and planners take the same amount of time to create. They use the same publishing process. They have the same profit potential. Even the competition is the same if you stay generic. So the decision isn't about strategy. It's about what you enjoy creating, because that's where you'll improve faster. But no matter which one you choose, elevation is not optional. If it isn't specific, intentional, and clearly made for someone, it won't sell. That's the difference between uploading a book and building a product. So let's decide which one you should create. First, ask yourself what you actually enjoy creating. If you like writing prompts, coming up with themes, and guiding someone through a reflection, a journal is probably the better fit for you. Journals work best when they feel thoughtful and intentional, not empty. If you enjoy structure, systems, and organization, a planner is likely the better choice. Planners work best when they help someone manage real life in clear and practical ways. Once you choose the format, there's a second set of questions you cannot skip. Who is it for? Not everyone. One specific group you need to determine for each planner. What problem does it solve? Stress, Overwhelm, consistency, focus, clarity. And why would someone choose this one instead of dozens of others they're scrolling past? If you can answer those 3 questions clearly, you're not just making a journal or planner anymore. You're creating a product with purpose, and that's what sells. I actually have some free planners and journals you can start with on my website at reneeclancy.com. Access those and then change them to make them unique and fit your style. It'll give you a great beginner place to start. Good luck.